Our next inductee is football great Charlie Batch. Please sit back, enjoy the video of Charlie.
Charlie Batch is one of the most talented football players to ever hit the field at Rynearson Stadium. It was clear from an early age that Charlie was destined for greatness and would continue to play well after high school. But the hard decision would be, where?
Eastern was right there from the beginning. I can remember when we were in 11th grade and going into our senior year, and we first started getting letters from colleges, recruiting letters, and we'd call each other and say, well, who did you get a letter from today? Like Pitt and Penn State. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got one from Syracuse. We used to get really excited. And, I think the situation was right. Charlie had some family in the Detroit area, and what the team was looking for and what they were willing to do for him. I know he wanted to get out of Pennsylvania if he could and really start his life. So Eastern gave him that opportunity.
This 1997 graduate won 4 varsity letters for the football team from 1994 to 97. His hard work and dedication is what helped this talented athlete overcome adversity and lead the way for the Eagles.
It took a little while for Charlie to get out on the field for a number of reasons. I believe Charlie may have had 3 different coaches, if I'm not mistaken. You can get lost in the shuffle, especially at the quarterback position. Being patient and having to stick through the changes and some of the challenges that come with the coaching changes and practicing but not getting any action on the field, it really builds up some type of motivation. And not that Charlie necessarily needed any additional motivation, but I think he wanted to seize the moment, prove some people wrong. And I remember that there was a game here, and it was looking pretty bad. And the team was down a few touchdowns, and Charlie led them back to a victory. And I think that really kind of sparked his career.
37-34 Toledo, and Eastern Michigan needs to get it into the end zone. The snap to Charlie Batch. He is back. Batch has time. He has time. Still looking. Now runs out as he finds nobody. Goes toward the sideline to the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown! Touchdown, Ontario Pryor! Eastern Michigan has won the football game. Pryor from Batch on the final play of the ball game.
I know Charlie still has that videotape. I've seen it many times.
Once given the opportunity, Charlie would never look back. Upon graduation, he held virtually all of EMU's passing records, including total offensive yards with 7,715, single-season offensive yards with 3,390 in 1997, career passing yards with 7,592, and career touchdown passes with 53. These feats would earn him all Mid-American Conference honors and team MVP in 1997.
Charlie's opponents probably, when they saw Eastern on the schedule, they knew they were going to put up a lot of points. I mean, he was having 400-yard games, 4 or 5 touchdowns. I mean, when you see an opponent like that on your schedule, and especially if you're a defensive player or defensive coach, it was something that you would have to game plan for. You had to game plan for Charlie's abilities, without a question.
In 1998, Charlie was drafted in the 2nd round, 30th overall by the Detroit Lions. Shortly into his rookie season, he would be tested and would start in the NFL. Charlie would go on to start all 4 seasons with the Lions. In 2001, Charlie was released from Detroit, and several NFL teams were quickly lining up to secure his talents. The next decision was an easy one for Charlie, once his hometown Pittsburgh Steelers expressed their interest, and he joined the team in 2002. Still a Steeler today, Charlie has been part of 2 Super Bowl championships, grabbing the ultimate rings in Super Bowls 40 and 43.
Charlie made the decision to sign with the Steelers. Part of that was knowing that he had an opportunity to play for a Super Bowl caliber team. And ironically enough, it happened the year that the Super Bowl was held in Detroit. And for Charlie to come back and be a member of that team and to have played a very important role in that team that season with Ben Roethlisberger being injured and Charlie stepping in and winning the games that he came in and played. it was a great year.
Charlie recently completed his 12th season in the NFL. With 71 games played, he has passed for 10,050 yards and 57 pro touchdowns. A true veteran of the league, Charlie has gone through quite a transformation since his earlier days on the game's biggest stage.
He was excited to hand off to Barry Sanders or throw to Herman Moore, and these were guys we watched when we were in high school or even middle school in some cases. So, Charlie's been in the league for quite a while now, so the tables have turned, and he's had teammates come up to him and say, "Man, I remember you when you were playing for the Lions and I was in middle school and I used to wear your number," and things like that.
Off the field, Charlie prides himself on the success of the Batch Foundation and Project Chuck, a summer program for the youth in his hometown of Homestead, Pennsylvania. These efforts earned him the Steelers' Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award in 2006, a much-respected award in the NFL.
It was a culmination of years and years of effort and time and energy and really rallying the citizens of our hometown of Homestead, Pennsylvania, and the surrounding communities, and giving back, and particularly giving back to kids.
It is undeniable that Charlie Batch embodies what a true Hall of Famer is supposed to be. Tremendous athlete, positive representative of the university, professional success, and a man who gives back to the community. Charlie Batch now joins the legends in the E-Club Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charlie Batch. Congratulations.
Thank you. I want to thank Eastern Michigan, the E-Club, for this. This is truly an honor. It really is. Never in a million years that I would envision myself being in the Eastern Michigan Hall of Fame, but here I am today. It's just great. And I want to thank my family and everybody who drove up here from Pittsburgh today. I want to thank you for really coming up here and supporting me. I know you drove through a snowstorm, which was crazy yesterday, but I really want to thank you and thank everybody who really has been put up with me over the years, because it's been a while. But one of the questions that really people always tend to ask is, how did you end up at Eastern Michigan? And it was crazy because I always thought that I would go to the University of Pittsburgh. At that time, they really wasn't offering a scholarship at that point, and all of a sudden, I see a coach from Eastern Michigan come in. I really think that he was there really to see my teammate, which was Richard Walker, who you saw on the video, that he was down there recruiting, and I'm throwing passes to him, and the coach looks over and said, "Who's that guy? Who's offering him?" And it was Tom DePewitt, who was here at the time, and he came down and he says, "Hey man, I went back, talked to Coach Harkema, and they want to offer you a scholarship." And I remember getting that phone call, and Tom DePewitt called me and he says, "Hey Charlie," my mom answered the phone and she said, "Hey Charlie, Coach is on the phone." And I was like, "Hey Mom, I got it." So she acted like she hung up the phone, and still listening on the other line on the phone, and it's like, hey, we're here, we want to offer you a scholarship. And really at that point, it was a tremendous honor, because at that point, I remember her coming downstairs, giving me a big hug, and she says, "Do you even know how to spell Ypsilanti?" I said, "No, but we're going to find out here shortly." But it was great, and really being here, you go through a lot of the life's lessons, because as I was here, I went through 4 head coaches, 5 offensive coordinators, but to be able to really go through that adversity really allowed me to really get to where I am now, because in the NFL, there's always changes, and you have to be able to adapt to change on the run. And if you're not able to adapt to it, you won't stay around a while. And it's just been fortunate enough for me to be able to do that. But really now, as people look at me, they see the end result, which is me in the NFL, but they forget the journey and what it took to get there. It started here at Eastern Michigan, never regretted one decision to ever come here to Eastern Michigan University. It really is we're with a great sense of pride, because over the last 12 years, with me being in the position that I'm in, has allowed me to meet a lot of great alumni around the country, because they know me, but I don't know them, but we have a connection. And wherever I'm at, people say they just want to thank me, and they really welcome and really say it's an honor really to follow you and represent Eastern Michigan well. And I think I've been able to do that. And as you see, I always go out there and I speak about the university, because it really is in my heart. And it's just really great to really have a fellow MAC teammate of mine, because now as everybody else is looking at the TV, as far as who they're watching on TV, and yet Dennis Dixon, our young guy, want to watch Oregon all the time. And I look at Ben and he looks at me. I said, who Miami have this week? He said, we have Kent. And I look over and say, oh yeah, we have Akron. You know, so we have a common bond that people on our team can't do. And all of a sudden we had James Harrison, who represents the Mid-American Conference as well, going to Kent State, and he's getting inducted to Kent State Hall of Fame as well today. But it's just really great to really have that, because really now it gives people a sense of pride to say, I don't have to go to the major university. You can go here, get a great education, and if you're talented enough, the NFL scouts have found you, and I'm a proven example of that because they found me here in Ypsilanti. So it's just been really great to be able to do, and I always live by the motto of Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's a quote that goes, do not go where the path may lead, but go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. That's what I tend to do. I came here, I learned it, I went out and earned it, and what I do right now is return it to my community, and it's really to be able to go out there and represent my community well and bring a sense of pride to the city of Pittsburgh. And here now, hopefully as my career tends to end, I could bring it back to Ypsilanti and continue to represent and be affiliated with this university for years to come. So I want to thank you.
Congratulations, Charlie.